Filthy Show has extremely explicit content. It is not intended for children, adults, or anyone, really. Especially retards without a sense of humor. If you offend easily, please fuck off now. All right, let's kick this episode off. Welcome to another episode of The Filthy Show. I'm Adam Luckey. We got Chris, the baby raper Rees.
Hell yes.
Oh,
Working on the nickname, but it's not
I'm
something...
working double time. A lot of babies.
You do things and then the nickname gets assigned to you. That's how it works.
Yeah.
And then you did that and now that's your nickname.
How can he rape babies when he looks like a giant one?
Because it's easier for him to get in there. He dresses up like a baby and goes into the hospital.
I still have the strength of a man. I can still snatch
He
him.
walks up to a desk. Hey, I'm a baby. I'm supposed to be in the baby room.
And to be fair, my penis isn't big enough to like kill him.
Okay, that's enough. I've
His
had enough
wiener's-
of this conversation.
I've never seen his, honestly, I've never seen his wiener, but I assume it's very tiny. We just talked about on the last episode that he might have a pussy.
A little pussy. Yeah.
I wouldn't be
I
surprised.
could see that.
Well, you wouldn't be able to see it.
Yeah, well,
Because he's
So
such a...
Leonarda and I are gonna relate. It's so weird having a pussy ride.
Why are you
Dirty.
black now? Why are you now black, though?
It gets dirty and shit.
yeah.
Dude,
Having a pussy be
pussies
itchy.
get dirty really easy, right?
Why are you asking Justin?
Justin?
All right, our guest today is Leonarda Jonie. Not our first female guest, but our first like actual woman guest. We had Heather Keith and Candace Medina, and like that's
my
more like
God.
Garbage Pail Kid type women.
Well, I'm not sure that I'm going to live up to the being a woman reputation too well.
You like pee out of your butt and stuff, right? You do all the normal girl stuff.
We do all the normal girl
Yeah,
stuff.
bleed out your tits.
I go on stage and every joke is about my smelly pussy. Ha ha ha.
I don't hate that. I don't mind that because I'm like, you know what? Finally, someone said it because I've been thinking about that girl's smelly pussy for the last 3 weeks. And now finally, she's talking about it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you do take. You're a completely different type of female comic because a lot of the times you're funny, and that like it's just like I've seen it blow people's mind. They're like, is she up there actually being funny right now?
Oh yeah, especially because now I actually started dressing up. You know, because they used to dress like a slob.
Yeah, you looked like our mom.
Yeah.
And now you look like our mom, but she's trying again.
Yeah,
She just got
she's trying again. She got divorced. Exactly.
Yeah, she divorced her dad.
Yeah, people were a lot more comfortable with me when I was like, I'd go on stage with like a stained sweatshirt or whatever, and then I was like wild, and they were like, "Well, she's crazy." So
Yeah, she's just a cat lady.
yeah, and now
No one cares
I
about her.
go on and I have heels on, and I look put together, and then they're like, "Oh, this girl got this job because she sucked someone's dick," and I'm like, "I just suck dick for free." So I don't
Which
get-
is, in my opinion, no offense, that's stupid. Like,
so dumb,
Dumbest thing
so
ever.
dumb,
It's wild if you're actually trying to earn spots right now.
so dumb.
If
Why are you
anyone
even
wanted-
doing stand up if you can just suck dick for money?
That's what I've said to so many girls. Like, why are you here?
There is no booker I can think of. If I wasn't, if I didn't have a beautiful wife who I would never cheat on, I can't think of any male booker that I would, if he was like, rail my ass and I'll give you some spots, I'm like, yeah, fine.
You would do it.
I mean, I'm not gay, so it's like, I might as well.
What if he's
Wow.
like, let me rail your ass for a spot?
He can't be black. And no, that's not racial. Their
Sounds
wieners are
weird.
just really big.
It was so fast.
Yeah, if it's a white guy with a big wiener, I'd probably say
So
no
you
too.
prefer an Asian to fuck you in the ass?
That'd be fine.
Yeah,
That'd be
because that's
okay.
just like normal sex.
No,
Yeah.
that's just like you set on like a thumbtack or something.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
not,
Oh, yeah.
it's not gonna like ruin me.
It kind of hurts a little, but it's
Well,
fine.
we were talking about Louis C.K. jacking on, like asking people if he could jack off in front of them. I can't imagine saying no. Like I'd probably say no because I know it would really piss off my wife, but I don't care. Like
It's
it doesn't
weird.
matter.
It's weird.
Oh, it's weird, of course, but I
Yeah.
mean
You
that's
wouldn't
why
say
he
yes to
likes
Louis
it.
C.K.?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I have very strict policies.
What if he
around
had his
that.
hands on your neck?
Well, that because then that means I'm into it.
Yeah, then you're gonna definitely say
Then
yes.
I'm into it.
I'm not even saying yes because I'm scared. I'm saying yes because
He's strong as
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, it
You
reminds me
know,
of my dad.
You dominated me. So
Yeah. He
what am I-
won.
What am I supposed to do with that?
I will say, like, there was a girl that I was with that liked watching me jerk off, and every girl I've been with after that is like, that's really weird. Like, don't do that. I'm like, why is that so weird?
It
Like-
is weird. So I was married when I was really young. I got married, and the guy was a total sociopath, and I didn't know anything. It was like my first real relationship because I grew up in a super conservative home, and so I didn't date anybody until I was like 22.
Just your dad.
Just yeah, it's pretty much me.
Just my dad and my uncles.
Me and my dad, we were hanging out. But so I didn't know what was okay and what wasn't okay.
Yeah.
And I remember in that relationship, sometimes I'd wake up in the middle of the night and he would be
Nice.
it was so gross because he looked like a gross leprechaun. And
So how old are you during that?
I was 25.
Okay, so like mid 80s.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that was very taboo for that.
Listen here.
I look much older. That makes you
So I'd wake up and he would be doing that, and I would be like, "Hey, what?" I felt really grossed out and uncomfortable with it. And
He's
that
just
was
jacking off and
just jacking off while I'm sleeping, and I would be like,
well, yeah, that's like sexual assault, right? Like on paper, I think you. I mean, that's your
Slow
husband.
down,
right?
Adam.
Well, I think that if a woman called the
let's not
cops,
throw that around.
no, hey, I don't think it is. that
To
said on
be
paper.
fair, Leonarda, you've never jacked off to a sleeping girl. It rocks.
It's probably fine.
Of course, Chris, the baby raper, would say
Yeah,
that.
right.
Baby raper.
So why'd you divorce him? Your
'cause-
fault? His fault?
Oh no, totally his fault. He was total sociopath.
Wait, he jerked off in front of you while you were asleep? That's like
Well,
Bill Cosby and Louis C.K.
Yeah.
at the same time.
No, but here's the thing. This is what happens when you deal with sociopaths. They have such an audacity because I'd wake up and I'd be like, I don't really like that. And then he'd turn it around and attack me and be like, what? What is the problem? We are married. And he had an accent.
Sacha Baron Cohen?
No, he was European. And I just do one generally foreign accent and it captures everyone.
Fair
He's
enough.
Jamaican.
Hey, man.
He goes, hey man, what you talking about? We're married.
Kind of went Indian there at the end.
I always go Indian or Russian at the end.
Ring-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding.
We are married.
I love the idea of you're like 23, you're just married to this like old Rastafarian guy. I'm just a jerking off in front of you, man.
Yeah, so he would be like, it's normal and don't make me feel bad or whatever. And I was just like, I don't like it. So eventually I just started like sleeping in a different room. And I was just grossed out by him.
And then I'm guessing that didn't last.
No, it didn't. I mean, but here's the thing. I have attachment issues, so I stayed for like 4 years in that relationship.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've never like had that completely, but sometimes you are in a relationship where you're just like, you're comfortable and it just seems a little scary to get out of things. So
well, it was my first real relationship. I didn't know anything. I was, young and I was estranged from most of my family at the time. So I was like, this is the only family I got, But once I got out of that relationship, I just remember I was so happy. I wish I could recreate my feelings of joy post-divorce. Like I just have never felt that happy again.
that is like, because I met...
Get married again.
I should get married again,
Yeah,
right? Just so I could start the cycle.
Yeah.
I met my current lady right after I got out of like the worst relationship I've ever been in.
Oh shit.
And I was like, I don't want to be in a relationship at all. Because that's how you feel. You're like, I
Yes.
just want to be single forever.
Yep.
There's no reason to get back into that. But then when you meet a really cool person, you're like, oh, it's like relationships can be good.
They can
Like,
be good
That's
if
pretty
if
nuts.
the person you're dealing with is not a narcissistic sociopath.
Yeah, they let you
Yes.
fuck black guys in front of them.
It's amazing.
We do reverse cucking. It's pretty badass. I fuck the black guys. I don't want them in me.
Yeah, well, we've already established that.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear. Because when you're fucking the black guys, they're like, is it in?
Yeah, and I'm like, shut up, dude. Come on. It's Chris Rock.
They're like, is it in, man?
Yeah. All black guys from now on the Filthy Show are gonna be Rastafari.
That's it, man.
You're rapping my ass, man. Stop doing it.
Hey,
Don't
man, but you're
worry.
so tiny, I can barely feel it, man. Even if I try to report this to the police, they won't believe it, man. There's
Wow,
no physical
you're
evidence.
getting Middle Eastern the more you
Yeah.
go.
I'm telling you, dude, my
Your
accents
accents are all over
they're
the place.
all over the place, but I can do them really well, just not consistently.
Just about 3 seconds at a time.
That's correct.
yeah, that's me in sex. I'm fucking good.
That's pretty good.
I'm good at it. Well, I mean, 45 seconds is enough, right?
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's enough out of you too.
What's enough from us?
Yeah.
I get what you're
Yeah,
saying about
yeah.
us talking, but yeah, 40.
I'm
With
usually
me,
just,
45 seconds, the girl's like, oh, wow, thank God.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, wow,
I'm
let me
usually
out of
just
here.
jacking off to them while they're sleeping.
Yeah, Chris just realized it's not cool
Well,
to
Chris
do that.
just climbs into girls' bedrooms and then jacks off to them. He's
All
like,
right, climb.
we're
into
Yeah, hold on.
married.
You really think Chris is climbing anything?
I kicked the
Sorry.
door open.
He takes an electric, one of those, electric things that goes up the window.
This bitch is mine.
You installed it so you can get up there. To be fair, I've been here for 6 hours and you didn't wake up.
That's your fault at this point.
Probably should have known I was on my way. Before we started the podcast, we started talking about joking and
Yes.
then putting the jokes on the internet and then people thinking you're being
People
like
taking
legit.
them seriously.
Because that just happened probably like a month ago. We had a clip from our podcast with Hans Kim, who's
Don't ruin this for people.
I know this is like a magician giving away his tricks.
Don't ruin it for people. You made some solid points.
I made one point.
I watched that and I was like, I can't believe I like Adam more.
I didn't know how cool Adam was.
Yeah, I had no idea you were a white nationalist, and I was like, for a Jew, this guy's pretty cool.
Yeah, this guy went from a 4 to a 4.1. That's pretty badass. But I've known Hans Kim since I started comedy. I've known him for like 8 years. He started up in Seattle, so did I. And I really liked him up there because no comics in Seattle were really funny.
Yeah.
Most of the time. And Hans like was, actually like writing jokes and trying to be a comedian, whereas everyone else is just like, I have green hair. Isn't that nuts?
Clap for me, yeah.
my pussy smells like a bookstore. Like I ride a bike
and that's
a
an
lot.
Upgrade.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It's not even a good bookstore. It's a closed down one. There's not books there anymore. It's just uneaten sandwiches.
Oh God.
But he was on. He made a joke about moving all the white people to an island. And then I said, well, yeah, it's just going to become the best island.
Yes.
And then you guys are going to come there, which is,
you were correct.
has already happened.
Yeah, multiple times. Every Western nation.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's pull back on it. Candace Owens.
Okay. I guess there's mass migration going into Kenya. Who didn't realize that?
Maybe one day, dude.
Literally.
They need Starbucks. That's all they need. See, this is exactly, it's funny because this is the point I'm making, is that I put that joke on the internet and it sparked so many people being like, yeah, you're right. And then immediately Leonardo's like, but it's a really good point.
But it is a really good point.
You're one of those people, Leonardo.
I'm 100% one of those people. I watched that clip and I was like, solid. And I sent it to all my white nationalist friends.
Well, it made the cover of
and then they said
Essence.
back to me, hey, you're Albanian. We're not letting you into the island. And I was like, fair enough.
We'd let you in.
Are you a firm believer that white people are the best?
No.
I don't think they're the
Shucks,
best,
dude.
But
top
it's
three.
strong.
Top three for
strong
sure.
argument.
Well,
Huh?
here's the thing about
It's a strong argument.
whites. There's so many different types of whites,
There
and
are
most
so
of
many
them are
different types
doing
of-
pretty good.
They are doing pretty good.
Same with Asians. Like there's so many different types of Asian. Most of them are doing pretty good.
I think every race has its strong suits and its weak suits. And we're only allowed to talk about the weak points of the white race. And if you talk about the weak points of any other race, everybody says you're a racist. So then we all have to close our eyes and pretend that all the differences that exist between the races don't exist. But they 100% do.
Well, let's go down the list of their weaknesses.
Pull up the list, Justin. So we already have a list.
Yeah. So what do you
the
think
funny-
the pros and cons of black people are?
We're not going to do this.
But here, I agree with you though,
You don't wanna go all
because
the way.
I went to an all black middle school, all Mexican high school. So like in those situations, pointing out the differences and fucking with each other was how we came together.
I grew up in the
Like-
Bronx, so my friends were like a United Nations panel.
Yeah.
And every time an Indian kid would come around, we'd be like, you didn't get full membership.
Jesus, Leonardo.
Well, yeah, it would be like, I'm like, hey, Jamal.
I'm like, sorry, I don't have any cow dung for you to fry up and make into a delicacy. And he was like, okay, man.
Wow. Oh, he's a Rastafari guy again. All right.
Then she married him 10 years later.
Well, I'd be like, Jamal, you don't have a dad. He'd be like, Adam, you have a dad, but statistically, he molests you. And I was like, he
that's
does.
hilarious.
And he does, though. And it hurt because he did, and Jamal knew about it because I confided in him.
Yeah, but Jamal really would like that.
Yeah, but
his
Jamal
dad
was like,
molest them.
you came around complaining about your dad molesting. He was like, shut up, man. At least your dad cares.
My dad never brought back the cigarettes he went to buy for me. I was like, for you? They were for you the whole time? But yeah, I really think, look, focusing on nothing but the negatives isn't necessarily a good thing.
No.
And that can make a white supremacist or any kind of racial supremacist.
Well, there's a lot of different racial supremacists right now, and people don't want to talk
Well,
about it.
a
But
lot
I
of
see
the thing
it.
is supremacy will come from like pride. Like pride can
Yes.
be good, like to take pride in who you are. But whenever you make any kind of race or religion type or like sexual orientation type group that's like, we're going to celebrate all the good things about this group, it's going to attract people that are like, yeah, because we're the best one.
I don't think
Yeah,
you should
there's-
ever
Right.
feel pride in your skin color or anything because you didn't work at
Yeah, if
that.
you didn't-
That was just how you were born.
If you didn't earn something,
it's like you shouldn't be prideful of how you're in Texas because you were just born in Texas.
I mean,
You
if
didn't
you're
do
white,
anything.
you should be happy.
Of course. Happy isn't pride.
You won the genetic
fucking
lottery.
did.
Oh
Good.
my God, it's awesome to be
If
white.
you're Korean, you're like, I'm Asian, and also I don't look weird. Like I look pretty normal.
You're Albanian or something?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like I don't know if that's one of the good whites.
That's
but
a Looney Tunes place, right?
That place doesn't
Were
really
you raised
exist.
by Bugs Bunny?
Yeah, if Bugs Bunny was a communist dictator, for sure.
Oh, it's one of those countries.
Yeah.
It's
Shaw and
it had a lot of fallout from communism.
like a Shaw, old lady in a Shaw with like fucking
Yeah,
I
no
can see
food.
that. That's like a Shaw
It's
place,
pretty
right?
rough.
Did you live there ever?
Did you? Yeah?
I was born in Montenegro, so Albania.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I was born in a Montenegro.
Montenegro?
yeah.
Hotel Negro?
That part of the world, the borders constantly change. So even though I was born in Montenegro, the territory was technically Albanian.
Ah.
And so then my family immigrated here when I was 1.
Are they gross? Are they gross people?
Well, in which way?
Like, how do you like? Are they gross? Like, would I want to talk to
No.
Are
them?
the dads really hairy?
Yeah, exactly.
Smoke cigars a lot?
Yeah. Do the moms kind of smell like ash?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
A lot of like blankets over the couches?
There are a lot of blankets. There are a lot of blankets.
That's
too.
usually a pretty good indication. It's like you're in a dirty European home. They got a lot of like
No, they're
quilts.
very clean.
Okay.
They're extremely hygienic. Like it's one of the pride of the women. You go to their house and it's like one of the things my mom would always talk about when we were growing up, because she was a visiting home nurse, so she'd go to people's home. She'd be like, "These Americans, they're so dirty. They don't clean nothing. I go inside, they haven't swept in 2 days."
I agree with that.
Like,
No, that's a legit stereotype, especially like white American women are some of the filthiest, dirtiest people in the world.
yeah, my mom would always be blown away by it. My house was always like very, very clean.
Something about, we were saying the other day, sisters. Like sisters are
Sisters,
gross. Like
Yeah.
both of our, and I've talked to a lot of other people too, both of our sisters would just like eat fast food in their beds in their rooms, and then it would just be there for like a week.
Have you
Yeah.
considered that you're white trash?
Yeah, no,
Of
yes.
course.
I have, and it's true.
Because this is not my experience.
Denny's
growing
was
up.
a popular restaurant. For,
Yeah,
like
Chris-
a fancy restaurant
Chris
for our family.
legitimately thought that Olive Garden was fancy eating until
Yeah.
recently. I still have to remind him a lot of times that it's not
It's
actually
pretty good.
Oh.
I
Pretty
like
good.
it.
You guys are white trash.
Well,
Yeah.
so we
Well,
were
you're Albanian, so don't
Yeah,
judge.
you're white.
Well,
you're
it doesn't-
dirty European trash.
Yeah, we're better
No one
than
even
you.
thinks about you guys.
You were
That's
born
correct,
in like
and we
a
prefer it
rubble.
that
You guys
way.
have
I don't
no
know.
spotlight on you because you haven't made any cool movies.
Well,
or
hold
anything.
on.
If I imagine
We
Albania,
do. Everybody knows us from Taken. We got Dua Lipa.
Oh, that's a good point. You guys got Liam Neeson's daughter, but you fucked up. You got the wrong guy's daughter.
We did get the wrong guy's daughter, but we do have Dua Lipa, and that's what we turned his daughter into once she went through the whole training camp.
oh shit,
We
hell
have
yeah.
Rita Ora. We have Bebe Ray J. We have a lot of Albanians right now. Also,
you can't just make up names.
I don't know
I
who
don't.
any
I'm
of
not.
those people
These
are.
are-
We've got
everybody on the
Baja
inter-
Blast.
Everybody on the internet is gonna Bam Bam Baklava. We all got him too.
Are these fucking WWE
Are
wrestlers?
those real names? Who the fuck are those people?
These are very famous Albanian celebrities.
yeah, Albanian celebrities.
Well, all you're
nothing.
doing is
they're
proving it
famous.
means nothing.
You don't know who Dua Lipa is? What are you
Nah,
retarded?
they're nothing to me.
Okay.
They're
Dua Lipa.
Albanian.
Is that another word for vagina?
No,
I was
she's
all up in there.
You don't know who she is?
She's like a pop star, right?
yeah, super famous pop star.
Does she have a clean house?
What's one of her songs?
She just did the Barbie movie song.
Albania?
Oh God, no,
Yeah.
not that one. That was Nicki Minaj. And
Albania.
No, she did,
Retard
she did
ginger
the Barbie
butt girl.
the Dance All Night Barbie
Yeah, I don't know
movie
who
song.
this dumb bitch is.
What'd you think about the Barbie movie? You seem like someone that
Oh,
that
it
was
was-
made for.
It was great. Well, you know what I loved about it is that they tried so hard to make fun of like the sort of right-wing conservative movement, and they just ended up making themselves look retarded. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is great. This is actually doing more for the movie. Like your attempt to criticize like this masculinity that's coming in reaction to the hyper feminism that's been dismantling masculinity has actually done more to push people in that because you look so dumb.
Yeah, I was looking for like it was funny or something, but that's pretty good. That's good.
I thought first of all, I was cracking up.
10 stars. Well,
I was cracking up. I loved Base Ken. I loved when all the Kens took over and he's just
yeah,
in
that
his,
was
like,
fun.
and he's just-
Those guys were hot.
They were hot and they were funny. They were, you know. it was-
First off, immediately Ryan Gosling is like, I want to spend the night here, and she's like, it's girls' night. What fucking girl would ever tell Ryan Gosling you can't hang out?
well,
for girls'
somebody
night?
who's been brainwashed by feminism.
Yeah, well, a doll, I guess.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't gonna like it. I didn't want to go see it, but my lady wanted to go see it.
You
'Cause
didn't like
she
it?
thought,
I thought it was so fun.
I
I just
mean, I
wish
liked-
that in the end Ryan Gosling hadn't like, you know, totally cucked out.
yeah.
But they
well, yeah, I
had-
like that. I don't care
I haven't
if
seen it.
movies want to make messages and stuff and like make points. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff, so I
Yeah.
don't care. Like when you have a kid in a family, like you just worry about that stuff. You never give a fuck about all like the other stuff people are talking about because it doesn't matter to you. And I didn't mind it, but it was so fucking obvious.
But that's why I thought it was so funny.
It's just so, but it just makes it dumb. Like it makes it kind of like a cringy, fun thing to watch, I guess.
No, but that's why I thought it was so funny because they're totally, the people that made that movie are far left extremists, which people don't talk about, right?
So you think it's funny ironically, and you're
oh no, they're not trying to be funny.
You're saying it's a bad movie, but you enjoyed it.
No, you like it ironically.
They're so out of touch with reality and what people really believe that they really put these messages, these over the top messages, that they thought everybody was just gonna like swallow whole the way we've swallowed all the propaganda.
Well, a lot of people did. It did really good.
Yeah, because a lot of us were going to watch it for the same reason I went, where we were like, this is so hilarious.
Well, no, I think dumb people. I've met a lot of women that were like, "This is our movie. Like this."
Okay, well, stop right there. You said women.
Yeah, they didn't buy those tickets. What the fuck?
Women are so susceptible to propaganda. It's insane.
Girl brands.
No, I agree, and I'm like,
Justin.
Here's the thing. I was like, if you're a woman and the Barbie movie is your movie that made you feel good, you're dumb.
It's very dumb. Here's the thing. I went to go watch that with two of my girlfriends, and the three of us were dying laughing.
Oh, when they did the monologue where she like goes off about how hard it is to be a woman, and then they repeat that monologue like 12 times. I was laughing so hard, and everyone was staring at me.
You know why I was laughing?
So
do
mad.
you know why I was laughing? Because I was like, yeah, guess why we have to do all this stuff? Because of feminism.
Yeah.
We never had to do all of that stuff before. So, and I'm not saying all of feminism was bad, because I definitely don't want to go back to like, you know, when you had your alcoholic husband fucking throwing you around the house. And
that was not good.
You had no recourse. That's bad. But a lot of what feminism has done has said that what we as women have is not valuable. And so what we have to do is we have to compete with men on their playing field. And so now, not only do we have to do all the stuff that we have to do as women that we can't get away from, but we have to do all this other stuff too, like compete in the marketplace, outperform them, all of this stuff. And then we're not
you guys
happy.
Are bad at it.
A lot of women are bad
well, they're
at
not
it.
made for. I think what it really like, and I agree with a lot of what you said, because I think women are dumb doo-doo brains. I've always said that.
I mean, the two of you.
Because they won't.
The two of you.
Why won't you
that.
whores just fuck me?
We just got our Instagram clip.
Look at the two of you, and you guys got something to say about that. There's a couple of geniuses I'm here
You
with.
know what movie I just
boys.
watched that is kind of like Republican propaganda that's really funny is Sound of Freedom.
I haven't seen that.
It's not.
It's really funny.
But yeah, I'll finish.
Are you just
what I
mad
was
because they
saying before
targeted you because you're a baby raper?
Yeah.
That's cool. Let's just change the entire subject.
No, anyway,
when
go
we're in the
ahead.
middle
Go
of
ahead.
a
Let's hear what you got to say.
I think what it essentially was in the beginning was like there was a small percentage of women that wanted to be like men, and then it got to the point where every woman was like forced to like be like a man. And I don't think that's what you guys are naturally meant to do. Just like I don't think we're naturally meant to behave like women either. Like if it happened the opposite way.
It is happening the opposite way.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of men are behaving like
and
women.
I think a lot of those guys aren't happy. And like,
and
it's
neither
not a
are
good
the women that marry them or are in relationships with them, because it's not what they want. I mean, that's one of the big struggles women are facing, is because, you know, we're really good at following rules and following a prescribed, you know, path. And so women can go through the whole like academic career, you know, go to college, get a master's, and then get these high paying jobs. And then they find that their level of education is higher than the men that they want to date. And they feel this sense of disconnect. And so they're unhappy because they don't want to be with a blue collar guy or whatever.
Yeah. And I also think dudes don't really care. Like if a girl has a good job,
No,
like it means nothing to us.
I know, because unless,
like,
you know
it's
when it does
cool,
mean
but-
something to you guys? When you want to depend on her, and that means you're a piece of shit.
And that's not the kind of guy they want to be with in the first place.
yeah. That's when they're like impressed by your accolades and what you've done. And,
I mean, me and my lady both work full-time jobs, but ideally my job will get to the point where she doesn't have to work her job anymore. That's what I want to happen.
You would never want her job to get to the point where you don't have to work anymore.
No.
Because you would feel like a bum.
Yeah. And it's been back and forth both ways, because you know you
you're
just go
building.
through shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, if it's ever been the situation where like I'm not working a lot and she's working all the time, it feels bad for her and it feels bad for me. We both don't like it.
You don't like it.
And I believe there's women out there that wouldn't be happy if a guy's supporting them, but most of the time I think the dynamic does work out if the guy's working and the girl's supported, especially if they both really like each other and are into each other really hard. that's a decent life to have.
Yeah.
And also, just don't say no if the guy wants to have sex.
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
earned it.
ladies, come on.
Figure
You know
it
the
out.
terms.
Rape won't exist if you guys just start saying yes more. That's all. And that's what Leonarda's saying. And I agree
That's
with
the
that.
only point that I came on this podcast to make.
Yes means yes, so just start using that word more, ladies. It's very simple.
You can't get raped if you never say no.
That's a good point.
Don't clip that.
That's the only thing
Do you
we're going
think
to
if
clip.
a man was raping a woman and she started being like, I like this, he's like, oh.
No, I don't think so. I think they're sick.
No,
I
I actually
know.
think that's against everything they believe in.
Yeah.
You can't like me raping you. It's annoying.
Yeah, you gross bitch. Get out of here. And
You know how
she
hard I
feels
had to
bad.
fight you down? And the mind of a rapist, of course.
I mean, I love
Of course, you wouldn't know anything about that.
No, of course not.
It's funny. We are two of the most disgusting, rapey looking men in this.
You really are.
scene.
However,
but I
you
don't
two-
do any of that.
I know.
I have a very wholesome life.
You guys
I've
are
yet to rape.
two of the grossest, most repulsive looking men in the scene, and I feel super comfortable around both of you.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, it's
I've
like
left so many drinks around them.
Because
And
we,
I'm
won't
like,
we won't rape
Well, I'll
a
say
woman
it.
over 40.
and I've roofied a lot of your drinks.
Are you gross?
everybody looks over 40 to you 13-year-old brat.
Yeah, and I won't rape you. That's not bad to
I
say.
mean, if you get raped by a 13-year-old, also, like, come on.
Also, yeah, what are we doing here?
A strong 13-year-old Adam.
Yeah, I think that the good
Yeah,
thing
he's
is
got a little bit of that retard strength.
I have a good dynamic because
Yeah.
I don't want to cheat on my lady and fuck any
wanna
of the
rape
female
so bad.
comics, and all the female comics don't want to fuck me.
Yeah,
So
pretty
they're
much.
Like, we're at a good even.
I can infer. We talk about the guys that we want to fuck, and your name never comes up.
That's great. I don't want anything to do with you guys. You guys ruin us.
I'm kidding. I know that the women definitely do not talk about the men they want to
Also,
fuck.
hey, I book a show. If I really wanted to fuck these gals, I probably
Female comics have
let's be honest.
female comics have no pride.
They really, they don't. Do they
No.
not? I don't know about this.
No, they would all fuck Adam to get on the show.
Well,
For sure.
I don't at the level I'm at. I don't know.
I fuck Adam to get on the show.
and hey, personally,
you
I don't
have
even.
fucked Adam to get on the
yeah,
show.
I do still.
Hey, mutual masturbation, and then me as soon as I'm about to come, I press the tip of my dick against his butt and come in his butt. That's not sex.
yes.
Oh god, this is so
That's
gross.
not gay sex.
There's
That's
two of
not
them.
that gross.
No.
Calm
So
down. You just said all this stuff about women. That was gross. I didn't complain about that. I let you have your fun. Give me my thing over here.
Sure.
I don't even think a chick fucking 4 spots is even that big of a deal. As long as both people are consenting to it, I don't give a shit. I've never done it personally, but whatever.
I think the whole thing is disgusting.
It's all unfair and it's disgusting, but that's life. Like that's how it works.
Oh my god.
I've been in a position a couple of times where people have sort of insinuated around trading, not for spots, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's terrified of me now, which is wonderful. But
I'm not scared. I could beat the shit out of you.
Oh my god. I would help him if you guys get in a fight.
I could mollywop your
Punch
ass.
you in the back of the head. You're not scary at all.
I have a gun now, folks.
I'll put that gun in my mouth and
You
let
have
you
it on
shoot
you?
me. I want to
Oh
die.
my god.
That's a good defense. You point a gun at Chris and he's like, oh, do it, you
It's
bitch.
kind of like a girl when she's getting raped. She's like, yes! Like, you're ruining this!
You're freezing up at that point. You're like, oh my God. He's gonna
No,
Can I
but-
just rip it out, you bitch?
I have been on the receiving end of proposition, like suggested proposition of exchanging sex for something, right? And
like just outright, like offered?
no, implicitly,
Okay.
right? Around, and this was when I was an actor in New York, and it was. I remember the feeling that I had was the first. It's gross. You feel gross, and then the second thought goes. You think about it. You actually consider. You go, is this something that I could do? And then instantly, the way I felt inside was completely repulsed by it because it felt like. It doesn't, when you talk about it the way you talk about it, where you're kind of removed and you're looking
Well,
at
it's
it
a
this
male
way.
perspective too. I can totally understand that from the female perspective, it's so different.
Also, if
That's
the
just
situation,
my opinion on
if the
it.
situation was flipped, every man would do it.
Not
Mostly.
every man would do it. 'cause
Well, they have done
they,
it.
Yeah.
No,
That exists.
He
That
would fuck
exists
the
too,
girl and he'd be
real
like,
hard.
"Oh, I forgot about the spot."
I think if a dude ate some old lady's pussy to get on TV, he would come and he would tell all his friends about it, and they'd all goof about it and laugh. Like,
that's not
We wouldn't feel as
exactly
bad about it.
true.
well, it happened. I've seen it happen.
It's happened, but
I'm not saying it's always true. There's
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
there's going to be
Sometimes.
guys that really fucks
yeah,
with
but
them
girls
for sure.
really won't talk about it. But what I felt at least inside was that I was violating something.
Yeah.
And
felt wrong. Did
it felt wrong. And when I think about it, now in hindsight, I think we've become like very casual about sex in this society where it's sort of all over the place and there's porn everywhere and everything. And we're kind of removed from the more like, I actually think it's a pretty significant act to do with someone, but because we've sort of grown up in this environment that has really minimized it, we can see something like that now, like trading sex for something as lowly as a spot on a show, as like, no, who cares? But that's because you have devalued it. And the interesting thing is when you do that, you also devalue yourself.
Yeah. Well, I'm not speaking from my perspective. No. I'm just saying, like, if someone's willing to do that and it's been devalued to them and they're down to do it that way, I don't really give a shit. Like, as long as they don't feel like they have to do it.
But to think that it doesn't bear consequences, I think that's just because you're detached from it.
I think it bears consequences.
Yeah, just because you're detached from it and you think you feel okay with it doesn't mean that you actually do.
Yeah. I just think there's so much unfair, dumb shit going on in comedy. Like, if two people are going to do that, I just don't give it. And, unless the girl was obviously like pressured and didn't want to do it and was forced to do it.
Oh, no, yeah, I get what you're saying. But that doesn't really happen like that. It doesn't really happen
like that. It doesn't seem like it.
No, it doesn't really happen like that.
And it happens organically
I also
a lot,
think
too,
for the vast majority, sex will always kind of be like this, like, sheltered taboo thing.
Okay.
So when a woman does that, it will always kind of be seen as like, I fucked up my pride, I have no integrity. But I don't think sex will ever always be like this open, like, super like free thing.
I don't think it should be. They tried to do it.
Everyone still tries to do it. But at the end of the day,
it goes contrary to the actual nature of what you're doing.
And sex rules, because believe it or not,
I fought.
I've done sex, which, to be honest, 9 women with this face, very impressive.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying.
Wow, you're putting up numbers.
I think
9 women? You had sex with 9 women? That's cool.
Well,
at the same time?
One girl 9 times, but still pretty good.
One girl, 9 years old.
I will say, like, I've done just random hookups and stuff, and the top is when you're with someone who fucking is really cool and you're super into them and you have a connection and you bang them and you can bang them forever. And it rules.
Yeah.
Like that's the best type of sex. Even like, I've been with girls who are like considered like super hot. Like, I don't even like think about that type of stuff.
Have you considered that you're a woman?
Maybe.
Hey, Leonarda, have you considered that you're a man?
All the time.
Whoa. Should we Freaky Friday?
Yeah,
we should do it.
Yeah, more testosterone.
Yeah, you would actually see what it's like to be hot. It would be very difficult.
You have more testosterone than us combined.
I'd only have like 9 more years left to live. So.
Who's talking? You look 72.
But I'm a fucking warlock. We live for 300 years.
You look like Bill from Kill Bill. That's who you look like.
You look like Bill's mom.
He looks like David Carradine.
You look like you raised Bill. You bought him karate lessons.
And I don't think you look like David Carradine at all.
I wish, dude, David Carradine's a kung fu legend.
When he was really old.
Oh, you mean I look like a fucking really in good shape movie star?
Well, no, minus the good shape stuff.
Yeah. That's all he had.
You look like if he did meth.
He probably did meth.
Of course.
He's a movie star. He autoerotic asphyxiated himself.
He died by choking himself to death.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Damn. I
Never tried that personally.
I heard it feels great.
Girls like to be choked during sex.
I don't know if I believe all that stuff. I feel like a lot of these people
just killed themselves.
No, I feel like they get taken out and then they put a story on.
Do you like to be choked during sex, Leonarda?
No.
No, because I hate like doing it during sex.
Maybe I am
you like doing it?
No, I hate doing it.
Maybe we're women.
I think you guys are women.
Because I have my hand around her neck and I can just fucking kill her, and I hate that.
She's up there.
Yeah,
you got her up there. Put her down, Chris. Maybe that's why no one likes it, because you got her up there. You're
None
tall.
of us come.
It's a weird thing to do. Like, if you're like what you're saying in like an actual intimate relationship with someone that you love, and then you're just like choke me.
Or slapping too.
Oh,
like, that feels weird too.
Slapping in the face.
Just a fucking like, especially when you do it, they're like harder, and I'm like, all right.
Every time
in the
I'm
face
doing
or
it,
the ass, which one are you?
Oh,
doing?
the face. The ass is fair game.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna the face. Who wants to get slapped in the face?
a lot of
It
people.
happens.
Yeah. Every time I'm doing it, I'm just apologizing while I'm doing
I'm
it.
sorry.
Yeah.
Slap me, you
Well,
big
then you're like, that's all you got, bitch? I'm like, fuck you. Wait till I ball this shit up. It's going to hurt a lot worse, idiot.
That's funny.
I think a lot of women don't realize how easily we could just kill them.
That is true. A lot of women don't know.
And I think they're trying to get you to show them.
Yeah, I have, but it's just a hassle getting rid of the body.
That's the thing. Is it became like such a joke for like dudes to be like, oh yeah, that girl could kick my ass. Most of the time, I think most dudes can kick most women.
Yeah, I agree.
We said that Chris could probably beat up Ronda Rousey if he had a year to train.
Yeah, I doubt it.
A year to train?
He doesn't have that kind of commitment.
Fuck you! I could beat you up now.
Okay, I think that's a good argument.
I just don't think he has the kind of commitment.
But that's a good argument because I've always said if you trained and you fought her, but yeah, if you just slacked and didn't actually do it.
I'm gonna tell you something. If no matter what, I have to go fight her.
Yeah,
I'll muster up the ability to train.
As long as it's
I highly doubt it.
I think if it's paid for him, I would have to drive him.
I have no faith in you.
Okay, fair enough.
Right,
I had no faith in your comedy career, but I was wrong.
The fight should be you and Chris.
Right now.
Do you think you can take Chris if you trained for a year?
I think I could take Chris right now.
Oh, I don't. He's so strongly.
I could kick you in the face.
He can kick really
so
high.
easily.
I know, but I would just, I don't know, poke you where you're fat, which is everywhere.
That would do nothing.
She just starts poking me.
It's a funny joke.
Fat.
It just makes him cry.
That's what I mean.
But then he beats you up even harder.
Yeah. You get me to cry out. It's like my Hulk.
Fuck you, Mom. So, so you say Barbie movie, 10 out of 10.
Because of things they didn't intend. That's why.
Yeah.
So they thought they were really saying something.
They thought they were really saying something, and I just found it so funny. And I was like, "You guys are so ridiculous."
I haven't watched the movie, but Adam showed me like that big speech they made at the end.
Well, my daughter wanted to watch it.
Fuck.
But it's just so funny to watch them try to deliver these messages and go, you're so out of touch that you don't even realize how they're being received.
We were saying, because they made a G.I. Joe movie, but we're like, it'd be funny if they made another one that's like Channing Tatum, just like, let's go fight. But also, we should be able to talk about our feelings more. You guys really don't appreciate us. You know, men make up the most suicide rates in the country.
That would actually be hilarious.
Well, movie. What was funny is they're saying all the things women have to do with society. But when there's a draft, who's the only ones getting drafted?
Yeah.
Who's being forced to go fight those fucking Russians?
Well,
Albanians, I don't know if they're going to be part of it.
Well, you know.
No, we won't let you guys be part of it.
Yeah.
You guys got Dua Lipa. You guys
We'll protect the Albanians.
That's your main thing you guys got to worry about.
No, the Albanians will just come in after the war is over. And
How big is Albania?
They'll clean up. They're so clean.
Very clean. It's not a big country, and there's actually more Albanians living outside of Albania than in it.
Hell yeah.
Where is it geographically?
It's on the Adriatic coast. It's across from Italy. So if you look, there it is.
Oh, okay. So it's right over there in that big bundle of countries.
Yeah, and it's actually quite beautiful.
That's cool. I've only been to Mexico and
Canada.
If you like
Trash,
both
Greece,
places.
and you want to go to Greece, but for way cheaper, just go to Albania.
Okay.
And if you like Switzerland, but you want to go to Switzerland for way cheaper, go to Albania. We have everything. We have mountains. We have beaches. It's really,
and your women hate women. That sounds awesome.
The women are they're based women. Yeah. They are based women.
Well, I think most dudes at the end of the day do kind of want a woman that isn't like a dipshit, but also just like is naturally just woman-like. Just like most women want a dude that's luckily not all women subscribe to that because Daddy's married. I will say this before me, God damn it, you know what? I think you're correct about what you said earlier because my lady before me, 2-year relationship with a woman. Then
she was like, well, this is just like being a lesbian, but I won't go to hell.
Transition back into men. She's coming back real slow.
Yeah.
I guess I could be a woman. Do you think? But that's the thing is like that. I think that's why I always like got confused with trans stuff because they're like, I know I'm a man. I know I'm a woman. I'm like, I've never even thought about that kind of shit. I'm just me. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't feel like to be a man, you have to like be like, I'm a man, or to be a woman, you have to like think like I'm like, you were born with gens. That's what you got down there. And then just be whatever the fuck you want to be. Who gives a fuck?
Well, you only think that if you're trying to convince yourself that you're something that you're actually not. There's other stuff going on, I think, that is.
Yeah. Really, well, it's usually like also like traumatic experiences and stuff too. Feed into that. Yep. Like the good thing is when my dad molested me, I liked it.
That's good.
I just convinced myself it ruled, and then
Did you really get molested?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. You just like to make.
Well, there's signs that might be there, but I'm not saying my dad molested me. I don't know if he did or not.
Okay.
If he did, Dad, what the fuck? What the F?
Do you talk to your dad still?
He had a stroke recently. So he can't. I talked to him. He can't say anything back.
And you're like, this is revenge, bitch.
Yeah. Well,
Who's getting molested now?
He did used to beat the shit out of me with a belt all the time. That was a thing.
Okay, yeah.
And it wasn't like. I think for that generation, it wasn't like as big of a deal to get hit with a belt, but he went pretty goddamn hard with it.
Yeah.
Like he put it in my ass with his wiener.
Okay, well, we just keep going back to the.
Hey, maybe he did do it.
Keep going back to being molested. So getting to what I think that there's like something really strange that's happening where like men and women are turning on each other in a way that I don't think is good and I don't think we should do. And you see this like with the like. What is it? The men's movement community, the red pill men's,
the MRA,
like the Andrew Tates and
those
and
guys
all
are
that
as
stuff.
annoying as the other side.
I think they're just as annoying. Personally.
Well, that's the thing is that it's like, who is it that you want to have a relationship with? You want to have a relationship with the person of the opposite sex,
but
or
those
are
guys,
you gay?
Also, those guys, like maybe a little bit of it is them thinking that way, but that's all just they're getting content. Like I'm sure when Andrew Tate turns off the cameras, he's a much more like just normal dude.
I don't think so. I think he's a narcissist.
No.
From what I've heard, he's pretty. It turns off immediately. Like he just
because you saw him on Tom Segura's
That's the
podcast.
character.
I didn't see him on Tom.
He was a little bit more self-aware and a goofball on that.
Okay,
I think he's just all the idiots that follow him are like that.
Well, people.
Well, his entire foundation was built on conning guys into being like, if you want to be like me, you gotta first. Post on my clips and make me a ton of money. And then also follow everything I say, even though most of it's just like things I specifically say that will be controversial so that it does well.
Also, he's just straight up a pimp.
Oh, with like the cam girls and stuff?
Yeah, that's a pimp.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he straight up has admitted that.
Yeah.
That sometimes it was even him like talking to the guys.
So I don't get how you can be of this movement and then go and then follow somebody like that. I'm like, again, if you go back to like having a foundation in morals, you would go, well, wait a second, that's actually amoral.
Yeah.
And that's not something that I should follow.
Well, that's why I think he doesn't believe in anything he's really saying. He's
but
just
then that's
tricking
even
a bunch
worse.
of
Why would you follow somebody like that? Why
I don't think
because it's a bunch of idiots.
I think he believes in some of what he's saying, but I think most of the guys who follow him are guys who look like me and Chris, but also would look at me and Chris and be like, "You guys are pussies."
Yeah, they hurt our feelings.
It's like, well, guys, you look like us.
Well, I've seen that with this whole movement. There's like this trad movement, like the trad wife, the trad husband, or whatever, and it's
what is trad?
It's like traditional.
Oh, okay.
So they're trying to recreate their imagination of what they think life was like when we had more traditional gender roles and we were all going to church or whatever. But you can see that it's a put on. I mean, the last video I watched was this girl with fake tits being like, and so I don't go out after dark. And I was like, you're just a porn star who put a sweater on now.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And I just think that whole movement is fake. And it's an attempt to live an imagined, idealized past. And it's like, if you go back in the past, even when women were, in the house or whatever, they weren't submissive like, okay, I won't go out after dark because my husband doesn't like it. They were pretty fucking
you doing
badass.
Stewart from Mad TV?
I don't know. Look what I can do. They weren't really that badass. They were addicted to pills and wine mostly.
I'm sure they were happy people.
Because they
some
were
of those
addicted to
families
pills
were
and
doing
wine.
fine.
Some of them were, and then in some ways they had stuff better than we do, and in some ways they had stuff worse. But I think about like my grandmother. My grandmother was a quote unquote housewife, and she's a stubborn old woman. And when she was stubborn from like she had a lot of men trying to boss her around back in Albania, and she was like, that's not what I'm doing. My husband died. This is my land. She was like a contender. And this is a woman. That's
cool.
But this is a woman who cleaned the house and cooked and raised the kids.
Also, sounds like someone I would never fuck.
Sounds like an uppity bitch.
She can't get any of this tasty.
Was she stoned to death in Albania?
No, she was a feisty woman. And so people who have this idea of like what it means, I'm like, you're creating a caricature of that person.
Yeah, my great-great-grandmother, Granny, like she's like one of the most respected people in our family. She was like a housewife, raised a bunch of kids, also ran an entire farm essentially by herself after her husband died.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. They weren't these like weak, oh my, I'm a woman. It's like, that's not what it was.
Yeah, and a lot of these boss bitches that wear a suit and go work at a good job come home and just cry and eat ice cream.
That is correct.
They don't feel strong at the end of the day. You guys are a bunch of tweak little bitches. Fuck you. As soon as you leave, like, he said I was old. Fuck him. He's old. He's probably old.
He's old. I bet you his dick doesn't work.
God, I want to fuck Andrew Tate so bad.
Everyone has this idea of how to be happy and shit, but none of it really. It works for different people.
Well, a lot of like that movement thing too is like people who follow Andrew Tate. They're just dudes that just suck. Like they're just shitty people, and they think the reason why they can't find like a girlfriend is because things need to be different in society, not because they just kind of are shitty people.
And you kind of have the same thing happening on the other side with the women who are getting, they're getting, like I've seen it with personal female relations of mine who like cousins or friends or whatever, who will have this real like misanthropic feeling towards like this hatred of men. And they'll be like, ugh. And then they're also like, oh, I can't get a guy. And I'm like, and then they don't want the weak guys. And I'm like, hi, honey, sweetie, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't like fucking castrate them. And then be like, why doesn't anybody want? Because nobody wants to deal with that.
Yeah, fuck all the ones we made. We want more of the other. That makes sense.
Do you know what?
Nobody wants to deal with that.
Do you know what I find absolutely disgusting? What podcast is that? Whatever podcast.
I hate
where
that
it's
podcast.
those fucking douchebag men that like, oh, you should be traditional whores. Just arguing.
And they always get the dumbest women.
Sides.
They always get the dumbest of women, and they go, "Why can't you talk?" And the girl has like Down syndrome.
I'm like, the fuck? And he's like, that's bad.
They're like, look at these women. They're so stupid. They literally get low IQ women.
Yeah.
And these guys are just like, Jesus never showed his tits online. So why do you hate?
Yeah, it's like, why do you do OnlyFans?
The worst clip I saw about that was like, they were talking about how there should never be divorce. Like women should never divorce. And the woman was like, what about in the case of like chronic physical abuse? And he was like, it says no divorce under any circumstances.
How to fight, you dumb bitch.
Yeah, right,
like,
Leonarda? Never divorce.
That's literally what they were saying. And I was
You'd
like,
still be getting jerked off.
Yeah. You would have a good husband.
You'd still be sleeping with one eye open.
You'd be sleeping.
I just think that's bullshit.
That whatever podcast is so fucking disgusting.
It is disgusting.
It's just, well, it's always. I hate everyone on
There's
it.
that one, and what's the other one with the guys? I forgot what it's called. Like there's a
Oh, I think I know it.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, they're not as big as they used to. Like I used to see them all the fucking time.
Yeah, but they got banned on YouTube. They got demonetized.
Yeah.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't give a shit. I think if you like that kind of,
what was it?
Nope, boys.
No, that's a whole different kind of
It's two guys, and they also always get a panel of really dumb women. And
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The guy's like
Andrew Tate was on
Middle Eastern guy. Yeah, Andrew Tate was on it. Is a Middle Eastern guy and a black guy that run it.
The same fucking formula setup. It's just.
And they're just, and they're so
and we're just trying to
misogynistic.
Copy it.
Oh yeah, we're doing our best. Hey, by the way, why do you have tits, retard?
What are you trying to prove?
Wait, why do you got tits and no kids, dummy?
You whore.
Sorry. Why do your nipples make milk, you fucking reject?
And also, you could just be like, Adam showed me this guy, Adam 22.
Yeah, so
you could be like that guy and have his wife get fucked and be cool
he's just
with
a
it.
guy.
I heard about that too. Yeah,
he had a podcast, like hip hop podcast, where he talks. Oh, he still does. I mean, he's like pretty famous online. And then he went on that podcast, and there was some other dude on there who also seemed like a fucking retard.
Yeah,
he's like, I have a wife who's submissive and loyal to me, but I cheat on her because men are supposed to cheat and women are supposed to be cool with it. I'm like, first off,
let's just say this: there's a lot of mental illness online.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and people eat it the fuck up. Because people either shit on it or dislike it or agree with it, but all three of those things are like content. It's like pushing the content. Like your any interaction with it, people don't think about that. When you see something stupid and you're like thumbs down, you're still pushing it up. You're still interacting
you are still pushing
with it.
Up. Any
the algorithm doesn't
with
care if you like it or not. They just care that people want to watch it. And so the best thing to do is just fucking don't watch that shit. Don't swipe, I think. I think people should stop fucking doing the swiping. I think that's bad. Like watching content like that where you're just swiping through shit. Just stop doing how many times do you do that and then like it? Like, you sit there and you watch those and you're like, that was fun. Like, I enjoyed that.
Nobody ever feels that way.
No one likes it, but everyone just does it. I mean, I did it last night for an hour, and the whole time I was doing it, I was like, this is stupid. Why do people do this? I'm like, you're doing it, idiot.
Because it's like a casino. That's why they built it like a casino.
It's easy. Like, you don't have to search for things. You don't
and you
have to
get dopamine hits because there's a new thing that comes up.
Yeah, and then every now and then you see one, you're like, it's like a guy talking about how swiping sucks. You're like, fuck yeah, dog. I'm glad I swiped for 2 hours to find this. Preach, brother.
We also live in a culture where we fucking love to fucking hate things now.
Yeah.
So we'll swipe all day to like, oh, this guy's a fucking fag.
And
this guy
outrage
sucks.
porn.
Too.
What a
It's
bitch.
called outrage porn.
Yeah, outrage porn.
Well, like you comment on it and you're like, you fucking suck. And then someone's like, no, you suck. This guy rules.
Yeah.
And then every time you
sound
guys are
like the
calling each
comment
other
section.
gay, you're making this guy more famous. That's all you're doing.
Sounds like the comment section under all of
the
my
people
posts.
watching that.
Well, like that clip we had that went big, really the only reason that it did mainly is because number one, Hans is kind of famous and people recognize him. But then all the people talking shit in the comments, like
of course,
that boosted it. That made more, any interaction is going to help your video. People know that too. Like I knew a dude that just made videos where he would talk about movies, but he would mispronounce the movie and then say things that weren't true about it.
Oh, that's funny.
So all the comments were like, it's not called Titanic, retard. His name's not Leonardo Dinosaurio, you idiot.
That's funny. That's clever.
Yeah, and they weren't even good videos, but they would get a lot of interaction because people are stupid and they fall for that shit. There's just so much autism now.
The mass majority is fucking dumb, and they'll fall for anything you set up.
Well, everybody thinks they're smarter than everybody
else. There are a bunch of mice falling for mousetraps.
Fake videos now, it is to me the most like hurtful thing when you watch a video that I'm like, wow, this is so retarded and fake, and then you click on it and someone's like, I can't believe that girl did that to him. like the gold digger pranks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
well, people like to believe their fantasies and stuff like that.
I think a simple life is a good life. Like I think to have that kind of mindset isn't necessarily a bad thing, but sometimes it just hurts to know how fucking retarded some people really are.
Oh yeah.
Not even retards. Retards are less retarded than a lot of people nowadays.
Retards are cool, dude. They can't even work a phone.
Retards can't even swipe. They can't swipe. Their fingers are too big.
You just smash the screen. Ooh.
I want wrestling.
I don't think you guys understand how far retards have come in this day.
No, they'd come.
They're
retards come. I've Googled it.
They got their own podcast.
It's legal to make them come.
Yeah, we got two full functioning retards with a podcast.
Hey, Justin,
you're supposed to be on our
that
side.
was good,
Hey,
Justin.
man.
He's our caretaker.
Oh yeah.
He wipes our butts.
Oh my god.
He's our butt wiper, man.
I don't envy you.
I don't either.
Yeah, but I think one of the things to remember is like when you go online and sometimes people will say things with a lot of confidence online, that doesn't make it true.
Well, it's less confident. It's like sometimes it means they're not confident at all. Like,
yeah, but a lot of these
fake.
guys who go on, like this is one of those things that I heard a lot growing up, right? That, oh, men are just predisposed to cheat and they just have a higher sexual drive. And it's like, okay, but are you a fucking animal? Like, do you want to live? Because here's one of the things too, like I'm predisposed to eat cake all the time. But am I an animal who's going to follow that impulse every time and then excuse my behavior by saying, well, I have the impulse? It's like we have a lot of impulses for a lot of things. Like somebody pisses you off when you're driving. What's your impulse? You want to kill them.
Follow them home. Kill their kids.
Yeah,
Strangle their dog in front of their kids. They kill the kids. You go dog first. Kids are scared. Kids die scared. And then you put the gun up to their head. No more bullets in it. You click that gun. You leave. They're like, whoa.
I'm so glad you thought this through.
Oh, no, I've never thought about that before.
He's done it. He's done it with me in the passenger side.
That was all just improv.
Oh my
I'm thinking
God.
an improv class down at the annex.
Yeah, but so if you did that every time and you were like, well, I just have this impulse, everybody would be like, I don't care if you have the impulse. You got to control
Well,
yourself.
I mean, look, we're both dudes, and I will say, it fucking sucks.
So dumb, dude.
We're both dudes who fuck all the time, and we can never stop. But it's not fun wanting to fuck all the time. It actually blows ass. Like there's so many times where I look at a girl's ass and I'm like, I wish I could just not do that. Like, I don't want to have to look
Leonarda,
at it. But
you've ever been so horny that you had to punch a wall? You haven't.
Because we are.
I don't think so. Yeah,
Exactly. That's what it's like to be a man.
I think naturally men are.
What do you know about that?
Oh my god.
He's got a wiener.
Yeah. I got testosterone. Fuck you, bitch. Let's fight right now.
You might have a pussy. Wrestling. Let's do straight
That
wrestling.
actually just shows how much testosterone you don't have. That you want to prove that you're a man by beating up a woman.
What are you talking about?
It proves a little bit.
Been
it
men throughout eternity. What are you talking
it
about?
hasn't. They
Yeah.
usually fight.
Men used to kill women for not having sex with them.
Where are you getting
Cavemen.
this from?
What are you talking about? You didn't have to. It
I don't
didn't matter
even-
if they didn't want to have sex with you.
I
You
think
did it
that-
anyway.
I think-
They were cavemen.
I don't know. I
They
think
killed them and then had sex with them.
I think the whole "we were cavemen" is a psyop.
Well, no,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fucking Jew shit.
Well, I wouldn't go there, but you can.
But no, I mean, all I was saying is that it you want to fuck all the time. That is as a man. But when you find someone that you're happy fucking like consistently and you're happy with, it kind of rocks. It kind of rocks to not have to go out all the time and worry about trying to fuck someone. It makes your life a lot easier.
I think it would make it
it's
a lot
chill.
easier too if we didn't excuse the behavior of people who do act on those impulses by saying things like, well, they're a man and you know how it is. It's
Or
like,
saying things like no. It's just stupid.
Well,
getting back to Adams, there would be no rape if all the women said
I'm
yes.
saying, how do you know what you like if you don't try it out?
maybe if men aren't horny and they don't rape, women can promise to not be so bitchy during periods.
Okay, we could talk about this.
I kind of like this deal. Let's strike this deal. I'll represent the women, even though they.
I know you don't have yours anymore, but
I know you're still on yours. You little
oh yeah, that's what's
Tranny
fucking
twat.
pumped.
That,
I'm on my man period.
We could fight our impulses to fuck all the time. You guys fight your impulses to be fucking annoying when your pussies are bleeding.
Hey, we won't rape if you stop bothering us.
Yeah, we don't want to clean at 10 in the morning.
Hey, honestly, you guys are getting a way better end of the deal. Why are you complaining?
That's true. We are
You
getting.
guys aren't getting raped anymore.
We're getting-
We just get to watch Die Hard now. Without you guys be like, let's watch The Notebook, which is a good movie. Don't get me wrong.
I know a lot of men who love The Notebook.
It's a good movie.
I hate it. I kind of hate it.
I like
but
it.
I like other romantic
I said I
comedies.
know a lot of men who like The
Hey.
Notebook.
It's no About
You.
Time. Have you ever seen About Time? That's a good fucking
Which
chick
one's
flick.
About Time?
It's about
I
a
haven't
British
seen
dude
About
that
Time.
can time travel.
Oh, I think I tried to watch it while scrolling through my phone, so I can't really have it.
Yeah.
What?
So I told you. Stop
Have you seen A
scrolling.
Time Traveler's Wife?
I think that's what I
That's
tried
a
to
good
watch.
one.
Oh, that one is not as good.
About Time
Ironically,
is-
same woman in both movies.
Okay, that's
Really?
why I'm confusing them.
Yeah. But this one is like, I think the best like romantic movies are where there is romance, but there's other stuff going on too.
Right.
It's not just retarded romance.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's a fun one. And the time travel.
Time
Sign me
travel.
up.
Like
Both
that.
movies, time travel. Hell yeah.
Yeah, same woman. Rachel McAdams, I think, in both those.
Dope.
Oh yeah.
She got a big face.
I do have a pussy. God damn it.
Yeah, no, me and Chris
So
have
glad
not
we
made a
came
good
to this.
argument of not being women through the
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Agreed. I agreed. Notebook is pretty good. I agreed. I don't want to fuck a lot of chicks. I think it's
Leonarda
gay.
has a shoe in and like, have you seen Expendables? You fucking pussies.
Those
Yeah.
movies
Well, I
aren't
have
that good.
3 brothers, so I'm.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then they have one little brother because it's you, dude. Don't let her bully
One
you.
more,
Fuck,
baby.
dude. She's dumb.
It's not as much of an insult to me for you guys to call me a man as it is. For
Yeah,
me to
because
call
you're
you a
obviously not
Yeah.
a man at all. You're the most woman comic I think we have. You actually look
yeah.
like one. We don't have a whole lot of them.
Yeah. We just have ones that look like Pokemons.
Do you think the other female comics will get mad knowing that none of us think they're actually women?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. We'll
Yeah.
cut that part. Or we'll clip that part.
You
Let's
should
not
clip
cut that part.
it. Clip it and just send it only to the comedy community.
Only the women.
Yeah, only the women. Give them another reason.
I mean, I will say comedy has been great for mildly attractive women because they become 10s immediately.
Listen, I was attractive outside of the comedy world.
I wasn't talking about
So
you.
why
You
don't you
fucking,
keep it to
oh my
yourself
God,
over there?
What an attention.
Do you think you can beat every female comic in a fight in a tournament style?
Every female comic everywhere, or
No,
just
in
in
the
Austin?
scene.
Oh yeah, in Austin.
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
think so too, actually. I would put money on you.
Yeah,
You're
some of them are
broad.
pretty big though.
That's true. Well, how long are we going? We're over an hour?
Just about.
All right. Well, I thought this was really fun.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah, this
enjoyed
was
it. I
fun.
think you and Chris need to fuck already. Fuck or
That's-
fight.
Stop.
Fuck or fight.
You know, when you-
That's scissor.
that would make me feel like one of those 8th grade teachers that just rapes her children. That's
You know what would be the
And
worst
that would
thing?
make me feel pretty cool.
The worst part about it would be if you like loved it and you're like, oh fuck.
And I just
That's not
I
gonna
didn't
happen.
call you the next day.
I mean, you think that, but then it happens, and you're like, "This is me now. I gotta fuck Andy Milonakis'
pretty
retarded
Adam,
cousin."
I'm the one that's not into it.
Yeah, Chris is
Leonardo,
like,
chill. It happened once.
I 100% think you would not be into it, and I wouldn't be into it. I think you have like a baby penis that we have to find.
It's
Oh,
fine.
I know it's tiny.
No.
We talked about it on the last podcast that I've known
I
him
feel
for
like
8
you could
years.
shove your 12-inch pussy in my ass.
That doesn't sound that bad. It's not gay. It's a pussy. It's a roll that's like a falafel. It's
So
like a
gross.
falafel with hair on it. All right,
Well,
that
this
was
has
really
been,
fun.
This has been
I am-
fun.
Yeah, I think we
pretty
broke a lot of
drunk.
ground.
I'm so glad I took time out of my professional life to come here.
What the
and-
fuck were you to do at 3:15?
I'm a tutor.
Ugh.
What do you fart all the time?
End it there.